We're back now at 11 minutes after 6. We've been monitoring a situation throughout the evening down at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront where there was some violence. We had a couple of shootings and some stabbings, all associated, we believe at this time, with a large gathering down there. We've heard it referred to a couple of different things, but we're hesitant to say exactly what the event is until we can positively link that to this. But what we do know is that there has been large crowds at the beach, at times a little bit outnumbering the police presence there. As I said, there were a couple of shootings down at the Oceanfront. We do have a crew live down there. We have Jason Marks down live at the Oceanfront. Can we go to Jason now? Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason, it doesn't look that busy behind you now. What is the situation? Are people coming back out, or is it quiet now?
There are people starting to venture out from their hotel rooms from the morning, but for the most part, it's a quiet morning here along Atlantic Avenue. You mentioned the shootings. This was the scene of the last one, 27th and Atlantic. They had 3 shootings here at the Oceanfront throughout the overnight hours. This is just between 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. This is the last one, 27th and Atlantic. They also had one at 20th and Atlantic, and they had one in the 300 block of 34th Street. Now, firefighters were out here spraying down the concrete. One of the individuals who was shot left some blood, and that's what they usually do. They come down and they spray it away. You can see those last few officers sort of protecting the scene. Forensics was driving away as we pulled up, so they're done with their investigation. I'm told none of the shootings are considered life-threatening, and none of them are connected. Now, in addition to the shootings, we also had 2 stabbings. We had one at 17th and Atlantic. That was in the Dairy Queen parking lot, and 25th and Atlantic. We also had 3 armed robberies, and there were several calls for shots fired. I'm told they made an arrest in one of those calls. Officers were down here in full force, but they said they were just, for the most part, overwhelmed by the amount of people, thousands and thousands, maybe 10,000 people down here. Now, they did have an event going on all weekend long where many of the black fraternities and sororities were down here for this event. And so they said they were just overwhelmed by the amount of people. 300 calls for service between 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. Police just here in the Oceanfront area. So, I talked to one officer, said he is just tired. They were just run ragged all night long. They did have to shut down a portion of Atlantic Avenue for a little while. That's obviously back open, and they're obviously cleaning up some of the trash. We heard much of Atlantic Avenue had a lot of trash on it, just your basic run-of-the-mill garbage just throughout the street. So they're cleaning that up as we speak. But right now, things are very calm, Art, down here at the Oceanfront. Far contrast to what they were for many hours just in the last couple here.
Jason, the event you're referring to is College Beach Week, and we've heard some people drawing some comparisons to Greek Fest, and many people who live here will recall the Greek Fest violence that broke out in September of 1989. But, Greek Fest was tens of thousands of people. I mean, it originally started as a picnic at Croatan Beach, and then one year it grew to over 40,000, and then it moved from there and went down to the resort area. This event, it doesn't appear to be something on the scale of that, or is it? What are the crowds like with this?
No, I mean, if you remember Greek Fest, I mean, you had officers out there in riot gear, and you had looting, and you had broken windows and things like that, and that wasn't the case here. I mean, there were a lot of people, and there were so many people, and it might have just been young people causing some mischief here and there. Obviously, there were shootings, so we had some very serious things going on. But I can tell you that in comparison to Greek Fest, I'm sure many of the businesses did not feel safe. A lot of the people were not safe. Businesses, we heard, shut their doors early because they felt unsafe and they felt overwhelmed by the amount of people down here. Police say this happened last year. They had the situation where they had this thing happen again this beach week. They felt underwhelmed last year, so actually officers were fully staffed. I mean, they had extra officers down here, and yet at the end of the day, they still feel as if they were overwhelmed in this particular situation, Art.
All right, thanks, Jason. You'll continue to keep an eye on that for us down there, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Jay.